Hello everyone and welcome to channel Duello. Today we have monsters as our faction for deck guides, and so far I have shot 3 videos for different faction and this is the 4th one. I'm also shooting deck guides for my Turkish channel. If you're not gonna be bothered by not understanding what I'm saying, you can always watch the gameplays there. So I already played a monsters deck in my Turkish channel. This is the second one for Duello channels, let's say. And the previous deck I shot for monsters was Fruits of Iskith, after the nerf actually. And before the nerf, Fruits of Iskith deck was really kinda insanely powerful. And fortunately, CD Projekt Red not immediately, but nerfed it as quick as possible, and now the game is more balanced. And to be honest with you, right now Force of Nature leader ability is better compared to Fruits of Iskith, but still you have this Caranthier into Kashi option, and moreover we have some more options for Caranthier. And actually Caranthier was the reason for the nerf, because Caranthier into the new card, well, what was her name, Gurnikara, was really broken. I mean, we aren't supposed to copy units like that, copy engines like that actually. And I predict Caranthier will see another nerf in the future, because it's kind of limiting design space for the designers. They should always think about Caranthier when they're creating an engine card for monsters. Anyway, so let's get to our deck. And I'm not using Gurnikara in this deck. Some people are using it. That's totally fine. But since we're not running fruits, I mean, there are no fruits on the board. So when you play Bloody Mistress or Gurnikara, let's check that card out, by the way, and talk about it. I mean, you need to first of all have Sabbath, and then some fruits on the board. So the more fruits you have, the better. And in Fruits of Iskith, you also play Ray, and which spawns more fruits and more units. And this deck obviously cannot run that card, so that's why this card is less powerful in Koshi deck, Force of Nature deck. Is it a bad card? It's not. It's far from bad. It's actually pretty good, and this is definitely a consideration for this deck. It's also gonna thrive the larvas. After you play Koshi, you can play this and you again get a lot of points and so on. But I kind of want more control while playing Force of Nature. Ideally you just slam your points and try to win the game by outscoring your opponent. But it is nice to have some kind of control with Force of Nature. Well, in this deck there are some control options like Heat Wave, but Heat Wave is kind of a well, you don't want to use it at certain times, like for example in the turn you want to play your Koshi. If you play your Heat Wave, it's going to delay your Koshi and delay your thrives and so on. So sometimes you just Heat Wave a 7 or 8 power unit earlier than compared to playing it on really late. So Heat Wave is debatable. Maybe you could go for Geralt Axie or something like that. That's also 10 point. And also Bloody Mistress is a consideration, obviously. And we also have some other control units like Caretaker, although Caretaker himself is also a point slam and he is a relic. Although he's kind of expensive for 9 provision, I think he's really a good fit for relic decks. And other than that, we have Ada Striga. It's been a while since we saw her. Well, Ada is a unit, so she helps with putting more units on the board, helps with the Sabbath, and if you have larvas or stuff like that, also will help with the thrive curve. That's why you need control tools with units. Other than Heatwave, we don't have any other spells, so they are all units like Dora Gray, you know, for the lock option, Caretaker for Purify, also offensive Purify. He's pretty good, and he can purify, you know, 1 per 3 turns, so he has cooldown too. You can always use Agora, by the way, if you want to modify your, you know, provisions. Agora is 8.8 provisions, 1 less than Caretaker, but she isn't a relict, so it really depends on the adjustment of provisions. So you should either use Caretaker or Agora, in my opinion. So in this deck uses, I mean, 1 luck and 1 purify. Anyway, we also have a tech option here. This card is really weird. Xavier Lemons. Normally I don't like this card at all. 6 for 6. He's got a recent buff, so he isn't as bad as he used to be. But in this meta, you know, banishing a card from opponent's graveyard could be really valuable. I mean, for example, you're playing against your mirror. He will be really useful to banish some critical units from the graveyard. Against Skellige, you know, you can banish Melusine or other, you know. Again, I mean, Skellige likes graveyard manipulations, so Xavier could be helpful with that. Against Coetal, I mean, you can maybe banish some orbs from the graveyard, although that's not really that powerful. Against Syndicate, you can banish their Redanian. Against Nilfgaard, he is useless. They don't care about much about their own graveyard. And against Northern Realms, he is also very useful against Northern Realms. You know, the Patience students go to the graveyard and you can remove them. So actually, in this meta, he is not that bad at all. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see him in other decks as well. I mean, he fits Monsters decks better because you want to put some units on the board while doing some stuff with the opponents. So that's why Xavier fits that criteria. We also have Maxi for deck manipulation and to see what's coming. I mean, if one of your crucial cards is at the bottom of your deck, you can always shuffle your deck, and so on. The other cards are mostly relics, and they're just point slams. You know, you always have this Caranthier into Kashi combo, and also use your leader after that. But other than that, we have the new cards from the expansion. I haven't talked about it in this Duello EN channel. Well, Self-Eater is kind of an insane card. It's probably more powerful than people imagined, or maybe the designers intended to. Well, this is a really powerful engine, and as you see, the card art is also just mind-blowing, I guess. And well, what does the card do? Well, it's actually a 6 for 6 card, but as long as this card survives, he let's say he divides himself, have this unit space power. So if it's a 6 power, I mean, if the power is 6, you create 2 units with 3 power, and then as long as you play relics, their base power will increase. So it's not just the halved unit, the other units base power also increase. So whatever you play, they will always increase. So that's an engine. And other than that, I mean, you can keep dividing yourself. You divide it, you have 2 3 points, you play a relic, now you have 2 4 points, and then now you can divide 4 into 2 2s. You play 1 more relic, and then you have 3s all of a sudden. So it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And in some games, if he doesn't get answered, I'm not sure if it's a he or she, by the way, if it doesn't get answered, the 6-point card could give you like 20-point value. So that is kind of a crazy. And I think this card should have been a gold card, like 7 provisions, maybe 7 for 7 or something like that. Making this card a bronze card is really, I'm not sure if it's a good idea. Why? Because there is the other card that I want to talk about, the other new card, Mamuna. Mamuna is a 10 provision epic card, so she is like Joachim, a high, let's say, provision epic card. And what this card does is better than most of the legendaries in the game. Well, she has Zeal Order, first of all, not deploy. That's why she is a great target for Caranthier. So order banish a bronze unit from your graveyard and boost self by its power. So monster says lots of high powered bronze units, so that's good for her. But the other ability is kind of an insane. You can summon a copy of it from your deck to the same row. And if you have Sabbath, you play it. Well, this doesn't change much, but depending on the unit, that could be helpful. Well, you gotta be careful with your mulligans when you're playing Mamuna. Whatever you're planning to consume, you need to have the other copy in the deck waiting for you. And what are your options here? Well, one of them is obviously Self-Eater. So if you use one of the Self-Eaters, keep the other one in your deck. So you can, summon it with Mamuna, and you don't have to have Sabbath. You just summon it. Self-Eater doesn't have deploy. The second option is Gankane. I think this is the best option probably. If you use Gankane in the first round, and Gankane has become much valuable, by the way, with this second part of the expansion, thanks to Self-Eaters. Self-Eaters devise themselves, and you put Gankane in the middle of them. So that's why all of a sudden you play a 9-point card in the first round. And after that, in the second or third round, you consume Gankane with Mamuna, and this time you gotta be careful with the deployability. So it's ideal to do this when you have Sabbath. And actually, after you consume, the game checks for Sabbath. So that's an option, don't forget about it. And Gankane will play for another 9. I mean, the Gankane that's left in your deck. What about other options? Another good option is Kikimora Worker, 4 for 7. Well, there is a downside, if they lose the armor, that's gonna kill itself. Still, this is pretty good. So with Mamuna, it doesn't matter if it's deploy or summon. So this is just 4 for 7 card. And your worst case scenario is actually Witch Apprentice, and if you have Sabbath, you can summon Witch Apprentice, and she's a really powerful engine. So this is your worst case scenario, worst option. Well, there's actually Arc Spore, and in one of the games I had to consume Arc Spore. But I mean, it won me the game, so it wasn't that bad of a decision, I guess. And we also have the Cron Trio, by the way, since I talked about, control and stuff. Well, there's this damage Cron that's hitting for 6. And Bruce can sometimes consume poisoned units or, bountied units and stuff. So I like the versatility in this deck. There are a lot of options. It's not just brain dead playing point slam. You can modify it. Well, you always have the option to decrease these control options and play for pure more points, like adding She Who Knows and Gurnikora Bloody Mistress. They are relics. So, I mean, you can go for that route as always. But I like this better, because that's how I want to play. Okay, and I have 2 games for you, and see you at the end of the video. Okay, I'm playing against Ursine Ritual. Really interesting choice. But Skellige is kinda meh this season. I'm on blue coin. And lemons can find value in this matchup. Like tremendous value if this is a heavy deck. These are actually really good cards, and I'm not sure if I want Mamuna in my hand. Okay, this is better. Okay, I'm gonna start with Art Spore here. Here's series. Interesting, really. I mean, okay. I wish I had self-healer here right now. I don't. Let's draw Bruce. Okay. It is kinda dangerous to play rat catchers. Okay, so this is a what? Shield Maiden Swarm deck. This is boost Crone. Could be valuable here. It's gonna play for 10 points. There could be some damage cards. I'm kind of scared to play Kikimora Worker right now. And if I play this, so let's use kind of 25, right? So I think I better play this. I should have created a pocket, relic bucket. I mean, I don't have anything to. I don't have the Gankanes, but what is this, man? Okay, let's play this.
A witch's best friend is a pig, no doubt.
Or will get locked by me.
I suppose, and the end.
Let's not get in the way of me axe.
No rest, no reprieve.
There will totally be more
Not to mince words. On
discard cards. See, I just saved 4 damage.
I'll do it my way.
By the way, amazing hand by the opponent. Around there is kind of a dead card in my hand. Oh. Okay. Nice. Okay, he threw away Gutting Slash. I'm not sure if he has one more. Well, I guess we'll find out. Well, that is kinda dangerous. He has one more of them. Unfortunately, I don't have the Endraga Warrior here. I think this is gonna die. Looks that way. Crap. What an amazing and ideal hand for the opponent.
just chop one off.
Well, this is gonna play for 8. The opponent has 4 points here already. I think I'm gonna pass here. Let him have the ground control. He still needs to make 9 points. 4 from here, so just needs 6-point card. Another bear, which are almost an amazing, a perfect hand. What can you want more? I mean, this trash deck, you know, can beat this deck. Well, it looks that way if you draw perfectly, I guess. Well, this is a good hand. Let's hope the opponent pushes me, actually, because, you know, I can get those cards out of the graveyard. think if he doesn't push and dry passes, I don't think Lemons is a dry pass card. So I'm gonna start first, so I'm gonna use his ability anyway, and if he doesn't do something about it, you know, I can keep removing cards from the graveyard. So I think I'm gonna play this, although I know this is a great card, but I don't want to waste Oneiromancy. Let's hope we can foil the opponent's plan. Heatwave is not great in this matchup, but I think that will do, right? Okay, this is a nice 6 damage Crone. What am I looking for? Well, one of the Gankins is actually better than Heatwave. This worst case scenario, I can Oneiromancy it. Well, the worst possible, thank you. Let's start with Sirius. Now he has to Lippy or Heatwave this. If he locks it, I can purify it. There's Curse of Corruption, I mean... Okay. So, what do we start with? Not this one, obviously. Well, I guess Dragon Warrior is the choice here. Or I could use it to thrive the larvas. So let's not get hasty about it. Well, let's start with Namuna. There are still 4 or 5 shield maidens, so 20 points at least. Oh, don't hit that. Don't hit that, what are you doing? Well, I can't do anything about that. Okay, so should I Neuromancy for Kane here? Or play Heatwave, but I don't think we will see a tall unit. Doesn't look that way. I mean, I could play this, maybe. But let's do this first. Okay, now it's Adrenaline 4, so the opponent is expecting this. Well, it is kinda annoying, but I have to play Koshi. I mean, not Koshi, obviously, Karanthir. I could even go for Force of Natures, but I don't think it's a good idea. There's Delirium. Well, he hit one of the targets, and he was... Oh man, come on man! Those are major luck. Lippy. we're gonna see one more hit from Lugos. Oh, okay, this is healed. Okay, so I think I should put it here. This is gonna play for 7, and this is gonna play for 6. Okay, think about that. I think I should play this first. I wonder how my opponent can survive this. Okay, one of the shield maidens. Okay, so in Raga Warrior, I won't be able to play this here anymore, so I think I made a mistake. I should have put the Whispers here. Okay, so I'm gonna consume Woodland Spirit here. Still should have been more careful with the placement. So is there an Igni or something like that? But I mean, the power levels are so divided. You cannot... Okay, gear them. Okay. That won't do much. Well, as you see, even if the opponent drew perfectly, this deck is just outdated. I mean, it's no match for this power level of monsters. Okay, playing against Syndicate, Blind Pockets. At least we somewhat know what we're playing against. I mean, I played some games that I'm not gonna show you today. Played against circus players and decks, so that was kind of frustrating. Okay, red coin is nice. Well, let's keep this hand. So Carather is an important card, so I should not part away with it. And by the way, this is not an ideal matchup. I should somehow try to find a way to abuse red coin here. Okay, let's start with Self-Eater. Would have been nice to have Cane. I don't have her. Already bloody good fun. Kind of an expensive one, but it's definitely worth it, so that was the right move by my opponent. Let's play this. Then play Bruce. Okay, I like that move. Puts me ahead. Okay, all he's playing is defend the pawn towers, I guess. Okay, so let's play Ratcatchers.
Scurry along the floor.
The bad thing is I can't reach Sabbath. Should I lock that or heatwave that? If I like that, that will put me ahead in points. But but I mean, I can find value for luck later. But I think this is the right move here, because after that I can at least play Witch Apprentice. Winning on red coin is important here. If you play skirt and then spend some more, then it is a time to play Heatwave. That is a spender as well.
When pigs fly, eh?
Okay, it's Sabbath time. Opponent can pass here. I think I'm gonna play Lamuna here. So there's Self-Eater in the graveyard. Although that is not the greatest play actually. It's 14. Mamuna will play for 14. Actually more than that. Screw it. Let's play that. Actually, I can play Paranthir into Mamuna, that's even better. Right? Sure, let's do that. I can play it here. The opponent knows my hand. And I don't have anything to play for this. I think I made a mistake here by banding Karazir just like that. This Heatwave is gone. And this is a non-devotion deck, so we learned that. What did get Heatwave, by the way? One of the crones? No, the bat catchers. Guess I can't play Mamuna. Okay, if I play this, I'm still gonna go ahead in points. Although I will lose the chance to get rid of Flying Redanian. I think I'm gonna Heatwave this. Okay, there is Witchfinder. And some coins. I'm gonna play Xavier. So what to get rid of? I don't know, doesn't matter. What is the last cards? Well, he knows my last card, that's the problem. Although if he kills Self-Eater, well, that won't change anything. Yep. Obviously, I can't play Mamuna. Actually. Five. Well, if I play leader, I will win uneven. 33. Well, yeah, I mean, I can eat the arc spore here, and you know, yeah, this is not pretty. I just need 3 points. Is it worth it? Well, I'm gonna do that. Well, I saved the leader, but at what cost? I don't think I played well here. Well, Environment is nice. Gonna try the 2-0 here. I don't think I have a choice. The opponent has 0 coins. He has enough. Two, and if Weaver survives, I probably win the game. No, there is poison. It doesn't matter, I guess. Well, I took some risk, but it paid off in the end. Okay, so I guess that's it for today. I have some connection issues, so I don't want to upload 3 videos. Well, hopefully this demonstrated the power of this deck, but I don't think it's a tier 0, or not even sure it's a tier 1 deck in my opinion, because you know there are lots of counters to it. So that's why I think the game is kind of balanced right now. But still, I mean, we see some crazy combos and stuff going on. So I'm not sure if it's healthy for the game, but I gotta admit it's quite balanced right now. Okay, so thanks for watching and hope to see you in another Duello video. Bye bye.